Jennifer Stoddard-Hajdu, former Dallas County GOP Chair. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. So let me ask you this. The Democrats up and down the ballot, but particularly Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and here in Texas, Congressman Colin Allred, who's running for U.S. Senate, they are really running on the abortion issue, reproductive rights, making it a very big priority of their campaigns. Do you think this is going, what kind of impact do you think this is going to have on the race here in Texas?
People's views on abortion always have an impact. I mean, to say they don't would be wrong, but you can see in the polling that's out, the impact for this election as compared to the midterms is less than half. So right before the midterms, right after the Dobbs decision, about 27% of the voters said that abortion was their top issue. And now I just read an article on CNN the other day, Jack, and it's down to 12%. And that's because states are now taking care of the abortion issue state by state, however their electorate sees it. And in addition, the economy and inflation, immigration, crime, and our foreign policy, what's going on with the wars, in the Middle East and in Ukraine, really has ramped up as the #1 issues to most voters.
And do you agree with former President Trump's position that this is best left up to the states? I know not every Republican or conservative feels that way.
Yeah, abortion is a very personal issue for everyone, and there's a lot of different views, but I do believe the Dobbs decision is correct in that the Constitution did not mandate a right for abortion. Therefore, it is a state issue. So I do agree that states should be dealing with it.
A lot of women have come forward and have shared their stories about their troubled pregnancies and having to leave the state to get an abortion. They think that will really resonate with voters this time in a way that it hadn't before. What do you say to that?
I just don't see it. The economy is in big trouble. We have serious inflation. People can't afford to fill their cars up with gas. Grocery prices are up 25%. We have millions of people coming across the border. We have no idea who they are, where they came from. And then crime. Crime is a #1 issue especially for mothers and suburban moms. They're more concerned about the safety of their children in their neighborhoods than they are about the abortion issue.
And what about this other notion that I heard that because the only way it would really make a difference is there would have to be a ballot initiative here in Texas, which there is no such thing. Only that way would there be a difference made unless the Democrats all of a sudden beat Republicans in the state legislature, which doesn't look likely this time. You agree with that?
I do agree with that. I mean, it is up to the legislature here in Texas. They've already enacted a law. It would be difficult to overturn it. You're right. The Democrats would have to take a large number of seats to make that happen, and it doesn't look likely.
There was new data that came out this past week about the number of medically necessary abortions in Texas since September 1st, 2022, when the new abortion law kicked in Texas, several months after the Roe v. Wade was overturned, and it shows there have been 95 medically necessary abortions. What do you believe that number shows?
I'm not familiar with the study that you're talking about. I'm not sure what it shows, but it shows that there are not that many medically necessary abortions. I mean, 95 is not a large number.
And so
I don't know how it compares to what was happening before the Dobbs decision reversed everything back to the states.
And my last question to you is, do you think that there are any signs, any warning signs for Republicans in Texas on this issue going forward?
I personally don't see it. It's much more in the background than it was during the midterms. It really ramped up during the midterms because the Dobbs decision was very new. And so people didn't really know how it was going to work. And I really believe if you look, there are far less states in our country, I think about 14, that either ban abortion or restrict it very seriously. And there are 26 states that basically have no regulation whatsoever over abortion. So more states than not are more liberal with it. I just don't think it's as big of a problem as the Democrats would like to make it. If you look at the Democrats, they don't have many good issues. This is what they need to focus on because they are wrong on the economy and inflation. They're wrong on immigration and our border, and they're wrong on crime. So this is what they're trying to make an issue. I don't think it's going to resonate with the people.
I do have one, and that is if former President Trump wins re-election and he goes to the White House, and if there is a Republican majority in both the House and the Senate, how much pressure do you think there will be on the president and the vice president to pass a national ban on abortion?
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there will be much pressure to do it. I don't think the Republicans, even if they're in the majority, are all going to be able to agree on the issue. There are so many different innuendos. You have to deal with the issues of potential exceptions, life of the mother, things like that. There are so many different factors that come into play. I find it very difficult, even with a majority, that Republicans in the Congress and the Senate can come together and pass a bill they all agree on.
All right, Jennifer Stoddard-Hajdu, former Dallas County GOP Chair. Thank you, as always, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jack.